What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. This one we're going to be doing a video talking about what are the top 10 most underrated episodes of The Walking Dead. Episodes I think that really deserve more credit, episodes that I think really deserve kind of more appreciation, and episodes that I think really need just more support from the fans, and episodes I think that really fans would like if they rewatch them again. This one is going to be top 10 episodes that are the most underrated from The Walking Dead television series. Okay, guys, so this is going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today. Of course, this one we're going to be doing a top 10 video talking about what are the top 10 most underrated episodes of the Walking Dead series. So episodes that I personally look at as episodes that really should get more credit, and episodes that I think that a lot of people really don't think about as a really great episode that they should, because it's an episode that really just does a lot for the story, or it's very enjoyable, or whatever. These are episodes I think that are really do not get enough credit, and episodes I think a lot of people would like if they either rewatched it or just analyzed it more itself. So this list, of course, before I get into it as well, I do want to say there are a couple other episodes that I think are very underrated, but those unfortunately did not make it into the list. But the list will be, and let's start off with number 10. So moving on to the number 10 spot, starting off this video at the number 10. This one is going to be starting off with The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 16, Wrath. So, listen, I like this episode a lot. I've always liked this episode. I think it's a very good episode. I think it is maybe a little bit of a slower, less action for All Out War, for finale of All Out War than maybe we were expecting. But I still think in terms of the episode, it was well done. The music, Rick's speech, the Negan throat slit, it's all really well done. And it's an episode that I think a lot of people don't realize how good it actually is because they were expecting more. But if you go into this episode with no expectations, I think it's an amazing episode, if I'm being honest. I think it's an episode a lot of people need to kind of go back and think about because it's a really, really good episode all the way through. So yeah, that's number 10. Moving on to number 9 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 13, Do Not Send Us Astray. Now, this is a very exciting episode. They've got a lot of really entertaining scenes, a lot of action. Simon is attacking Hilltop in this episode. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, this is also the episode where we get to see Dwight shoot Tara, as well as Daryl kind of, and the others or whatever, kind of do the whole plan of kind of the bus crashing in, and you've got Maggie, and she's up there with the prisoners, and you've got the whole battle at Hilltop. I feel like a lot of people may forget that, but this is a very exciting episode nevertheless. And then also Tobin's death, as well as a couple others as well, during the nighttime get eaten alive in their sleep. And it's a really, really exciting episode. A lot of tension, a lot of exciting moments, and even Tara, not knowing if she's going to survive or not, I thought was a really exciting, idea. If you guys didn't know, in the comics, that was Rick that got shot with a clean arrow. It was not, Tara. Tara's a character that's not even in the comics. So, really cool how they remixed that. And I don't know, I was really on the edge of my seat throughout this whole episode. And I think it's an episode that's very underrated. It's an episode I think a lot of people should, kind of rethink on, because it's a very, very good episode in my opinion. So, yeah, number 9 is going to be Do Not Send Us Astray, Season 8, Episode 13. Number 8 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 4. Of The Obliged. Now, I personally really like this episode. Now, if you guys don't know, this is the episode where Rick, at the end of the episode, there's the big cliffhanger, whether or not Rick is going to survive or not. I like that cliffhanger. And the other thing about this as well I really like is Negan and Michonne, and how they're the same. They are the same. They have very, like a lot of kind of similarities in this episode. As well as, this is the episode where Rick and Daryl fight in the pit. So I think this was a very exciting episode, and I'm going to rate that at number 8. I think it's a very underrated episode in my opinion. So yeah, number 8, Season 9, Episode 4, The Obliged. Coming in at number 7 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 1, Pilots. So, this is, of course, the first episode for The Walking Dead television series. This is an episode that I think is, a lot of people, they really do like it, and that's good, but I find that a lot of people don't give it the credit it deserves. It is a great episode. It is the episode that got me interested in The Walking Dead to begin with. It is the episode that really made everybody want to get into and watch the rest of the series. And I find that because there are so many episodes later on that are so good, this is one that does not get enough credit. So I had to put it in the list because I feel like it's such a good start to the series. And for honestly, one of the best things about the pilot is that I find the zombies fearsome. I find them to be a big threat in the episode, which you don't get that vibe very much in the later seasons of Walking Dead, that you really do get in this episode, and I find that really interesting and really awesome to see, and very entertaining, and a really, really good start to in what is, in my opinion, the best series on television. So, yeah, definitely. Number 7, the pilot. Number 6 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 16, The Storm. Now, this episode drives me crazy when it comes to people's reaction to it, because honestly, so many people are like, oh, this episode's so disappointing. This episode is so, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but this episode is phenomenal. They did an amazing job at having your episode 15 be unpredictable, because everybody thought that the Pikes would be in the finale. Then they tricked people and they have the Pikes in episode 15. So then people were like, oh, okay, what's going to happen in the finale? And then after all these years of fans being like, are we ever going to see winter in Walking Dead? They always do time skips over the winter. They never show the winter. They gave us the best winter episode they possibly could. And honestly, I love it. And honestly, Negan as well just made this episode so entertaining. And also, I really like the snowball fight scene. I thought that was really cool. Alpha, I need to be stronger for what comes next. And just a lot of stuff. The radio, they set up who's on the radio. A lot of just really exciting stuff. And I think just visually, the episode, it was amazing what they did with it. Honestly, Angela Kang killed it with this finale. And I did not feel one bit of disappointment in this season finale. I knew the big episode was episode 15. Once we got the Pikes in that episode, I knew. I was like, okay, episode 16, it's like a bonus episode. It's not really a finale. And I feel like a lot of people, because it's the finale and they thought something more was going to happen, but then they don't look at how amazing this episode actually was. I personally absolutely love this episode. Number 5 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 12, Not Tomorrow Yet. This episode has one of the best battles I've ever seen. And, a lot of people may say as well that, oh, this isn't I don't like this battle, I don't like this episode because what our characters do is too dark or whatever. Listen, I feel you on that. But at the same time, you can't deny this episode has an amazing battle sequence, and it's a very exciting episode. The cliffhanger, we have a Carol and a Maggie. Oh my god. Honestly, when I heard that, I was like, crap, man, they set up that next episode so well. And even though I don't like the episode that much with Carol and Maggie, they set that cliffhanger up very well at the end of the episode. And the other thing they did with this episode as well is they had the characters kind of getting prepared. I love, too, Rick punching the fake Gregory head, I thought that was really cool. And as well, we get to see a lot of character scenes that I really enjoyed. Glenn, his first ever human kill, I think that was really cool to see. You can feel how he felt when he had to kill that person in the outpost. I loved it. I love this episode so much. I think it really is underrated. The music as well is really great in the scene when Morgan's building the cell that later on will be used for Negan. Just amazing episode, honestly. I don't care if it's dark what our characters did. It was an exciting episode. Nevertheless, it does not matter. So that's number 5. Coming in at number 4 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 6, Who Are You Now? This is a really awesome episode. I know so many people were so like, oh, it's the first episode without Rick, I don't know how I feel about it, but I don't care. You need to go back and watch this episode, because this is an exciting episode. It's a very kind of like refreshing episode for the series. It's honestly the best work I think they could have ever done without Rick in the show, and they still relate back to Rick a lot in this episode, which I think is really cool. And I love the time skip. I love how different things feel. It's a good different. It's not a bad different. It's not a different that I don't like. It's a different that I absolutely love. And it made me love Season 9, and specifically this episode. You have Carol. She is, awesome as usual, killing the saviors, the remaining saviors, You got Magnus Group being introduced. You got the introduction to those characters. You got the Where Are They from the trailer that's in this episode, with Rosita and Eugene being out there. Daryl's out there still looking for Rick after all these years. Michonne, Judith steals the show this episode. Negan turns into a good guy out of nowhere this episode. It is an amazing episode, honestly. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's going to be number 4. Number 3 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 16A. I love this finale. I think this is one of the best finales even to this day. Terminus, there's something about Terminus that is just still freaky and scary and just out of this world. And I love this episode. The You're My Brother scene with Rick and Daryl, I love that scene. And they're screwing with the wrong people, even though he was supposed to say something else. I absolutely love this episode. I think the tension is there. It's an amazing finale. The flashbacks at the prison with Herschel, So many people say this is a disappointing finale. I'll never understand it, honestly. So yeah, number 3, Season 4, Episode 16A. Coming in at number 2 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 16, Last Day on Earth. I love this episode, guys. I honestly do. I know so many people have just come to me and said, Dan, I hate this episode. The cliffhanger's terrible. And this is around the time, this episode right here is around the time I was starting to get into the channel, when I was starting to make the channel for The Walking Dead. I think this was the first episode I ever reviewed. And I heard so many comments in my first review for this episode, and people were like, Dan, this episode was terrible. This episode, I can't believe what they did. The cliffhanger, it's torture. Maybe when you're watching it the first time and you don't know who it is, but when you go back in a marathon and watch this episode, it's a freaking masterpiece, honestly. The introduction to Negan, honestly, even the cliffhanger was done well, in my opinion. Even the way they set it up, in retrospect, it got those ratings for the Season 7 premiere. It got the attention. What's so bad about it? Honestly, I don't know. I find that, honestly, if you did not have that cliffhanger of who Negan killed, the show would not be as talked about as it was that night Season 7, Episode 1 came out. This episode created that hype, and it introduced Negan, one of the best characters in the Walking Dead series. I mean, honestly, that's all I have to say. It's an amazing episode and very underrated. Now, for my number 1 spot, the most underrated episode of the Walking Dead series ever, and I know so many people are going to be like, are you kidding me? But for my list, I wanted to pick, an episode that nobody would expect. Nobody would expect to see this episode in the list at all. Nobody, I don't think, even ever talks about this episode because there's something about it they don't like. I'm talking about number 1 spot. You're going to be surprised. I know you will be. Season 8, Episode 8, How It's Gotta Be. Absolutely incredible episode, okay? I get it. People don't like the Carl death. I don't like the Carl death either, but he doesn't die in this episode. So that makes me enjoy it a lot more because there are so many things in this episode. First of all, the music, absolutely incredible. Movie-style music in this episode. The fight between Rick and Negan in the house, I freaking love that scene. I love that scene so much. Rick and them walking in the sewer, Rick and Michonne walking through the sewer, seeing all who was still left in his group. Like, not even he's having to look at every individual person as he's walking in the sewer because he just doesn't know who's left in his group anymore. That's crazy. And then also, Ezekiel coming back in this episode, being a hero, being a hero for his people, stepping up and doing, saving his people so that, they can get away and all that kind of stuff. Maggie executing the one guy at Hilltop and sending it in a box to the sanctuary. The music in that scene as well. The acting from Andrew Lincoln, Jeffrey D. Morgan, Lauren Cohen, Carrie Payton, everybody. Amazing episode, honestly. I absolutely love the episode. And then you get that punch in the gut at the end of the episode as well. And even though I don't agree with the Carl death, you gotta admit the rest of the episode was very good. And in my opinion, it deserves credit. It really does. Because it has an amazing amount of action, amazing amount of tension. And in my opinion, this is the episode that deserves credit that does not get any at all. Just because of the Carl thing. Because I find that the Carl thing overshadows how good this episode is. And I just highly disagree. I say, honestly, if there's any episode in this list that you disagree with, give Season 8, Episode 8 a rewatch. How It's Gotta Be. And come back and tell me if you like it. Because honestly, when I was rewatching this episode, I was like, wow, what an incredible episode, honestly. So great. Such an amazing episode. So I want to hear your list in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this list? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? I know the number 1 spot is going to really make people, just kind of wonder about it. But I'm telling you, watch How It's Gotta Be again and come back and talk to me about the episode. Because honestly, I'm just saying, I think you may like it if you rewatch it again. Just focus on, Carl doesn't die. Focus on the episode, the storyline, the action, the music, the tension, the sadness. It's there, and it's amazing. So, anyway, I'm going to leave this video right here. I want to hear your opinions about this in the comment section below. If you're new here, guys, click the subscribe button to understand my Walking Dead videos. Follow Dan's Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another Walking Dead video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out. Anybody out there?